Right, so this is technically the first video that I'm writing in 2023, because I write a couple of weeks in advance, so you'll be seeing this mid to late January, probably. So, for me, this is the start of the year. This is me looking out into the distance and wondering, what are we can do this year? What new challenges are we going to face? And am I going to have the fortitude and strength of character to face them head on? Basically, I'm asking, what are we doing today?
So, what we are talking about is the questions that an atheist cannot answer.
Oh, for Christ's non-existence sake, will I ever escape from the questions atheists can't, in big old quotes, answer? Damn it. Okay, to be fair, this is a little different. He said that an atheist can't answer, which I guess is technically true. There almost certainly is an atheist out there who won't be capable of providing answers to questions. Atheists go into comas too, right?
And of course, these are very, very legitimate questions.
Remember, folks, if you have to say it, it must be true. And don't worry, my answers will be super smart, sexy, and able to do one whole press-up, just like I am and can definitely do, because I said it, so now it's a fact.
So you have atheists, you have people who call themselves humanists.
Humanist is just a type of secular philosophy. A humanist atheist would still be an atheist, mate, and in all likelihood would define themselves as such as well as the humanist label. Funny that a theist doing the impossible questions TM wouldn't understand that.
You have some people who basically are anti-godists.
Anti-godists? Are you freaking kidding me? That sounds like something I would say to take the ever-loving Michael. Oh, damn it, man. Can you theist types not go 30 seconds without being more ridiculous than me? Especially considering the fact that I'm trying to do it on purpose. Seriously, I could do without the competition. Thanks.
They seem emphatic about revolting.
Well, they are humans and as such are by their very nature revolting. Can't really help themselves, can they? Everything about them is all kinds of disgusting. I wish they would just stop, really.
Against the said God.
Gotta love that. Before you even start asking the questions, you demonstrate that you have literally zero understanding of why an anti-godist might hold that position to you. They know what they know about the existence of the big G, but are fighting against it. And then you'll be completely shocked when they act like that's a nonsensical position to take against them, and they tell you to go away.
So there are these questions, and I'll be listing the questions so we see whether these people can answer them, and then pose these questions to these atheists anytime you talk to them.
I'm not even going to say it. I just really wish these guys would learn to edit. But 'tis never going to happen, because there is a God, and he's evil, and he hates me, and loves wasting people's time. Why do you think he hid all the evidence for himself, and invented a bunch of nonsensical, contradictory religions? See, if God is real, he's just a massive internet troll. That's literally the only God-real explanation that could ever make any possible sense.
To see if they do have answers to them.
As always, answering questions is never difficult. I don't know is always, and I mean always, a valid response. And just because you have an answer that isn't I don't know, that doesn't mean that the answer you have is correct, just that you happen to have one. However, I absolutely will be attempting to give some kind of answer, because even that is rarely difficult for these oh so smart big brain questions.
The first question is, what is the purpose of your existence?
My existence? Well, only one purpose does not do me justice. I am so far beyond the scope of a singular purpose, it will blow all your tiny little minds. So grand my existence is. I have two purposes. Yes, I know, try not to think about it too much. You'll only hurt yourselves. Although the purposes themselves are rather simple. 1, destroy all the humans as and when I see fit. And 2, consume all the whiskey. Not gonna lie, 2 would be easier if I did 1, but that sounds like effort.
And that's the question people have asked for so long. And you have these seminars where people discuss and say, what's the purpose of our existence?
Yes, humans have asked for many moons, who am the sun, why am the sky, and of course, as you say, what do. But that misses an important part of that idea. If there is purpose. I assume from your perspective there must be one because of how important and special you are. But we haven't even answered the if yet, which is why we have yet to answer the what. In fact, it kind of makes sense. It's obvious why we haven't answered the if. You know, because there probably isn't one.
So as long as you're here and you do not know the purpose of your being here, it basically makes your existence lack any value.
No, it doesn't. Why do you think that? Value is not something gifted to us from on high. Value is a human concept that they apply to things around them. Of course, you and your existence can have value without some invisible guide telling you that you have it. And it's kind of sad to me that there's people who cannot feel that without someone so much higher giving it to them. Find your own value. You're worth it. Probably. I mean, you are still a human, so you know.
So we would like to see whether people can answer that question. Now, from a religious point of view.
Very easily. And I thought this was your question for anti-Godites, not your religious-boy mates. But fine, let me guess. God, he says you do, because book says he say that. How compelling.
The answer is pretty simple to that question. And the answer is...
Oh, god damn it, man, you really caught me off guard there. Seriously, that was so perfect in its comedy timing that you couldn't write a better gag. And worse still, at least for you, if you had learned to make videos properly, you would never have shown that and just cut it out. And frankly, what a shame that would have been, you funny bastard. You know he's a doctor, apparently. Absolutely amazing.
Quoting what I was speaking with a Jewish friend of mine some days ago, and he said, I did not create man, but to worship me.
Your friend created man to worship him? That seems a little unlikely. I don't believe for a second that you have any friends. If you go around asking asinine questions to them all the time. Oh, and I suppose you mean he said that Gob said that, and no, he didn't. Someone somewhere said that God said that, and someone else wrote it down probably. That's not actually the same thing as the word of God, just so you know.
Okay. So that's the answer to that from a religious point of view, that we are here to worship God, but...
What a completely meaningless existence. You think that's an answer, but to worship some omnipotent super being who made you and more importantly didn't actually need to do that because, you know, omnipotent, I can't think of something that offers less meaning to existence. That really is like an anti-answer to that question.
We'd like you to ask your atheist friends or people, you know, atheist preachers, what's the purpose of their existence?
Atheist preachers, what even? You know your words for things don't apply all around, right? People who discuss atheism and concepts related to them are not preachers. It's not a religion. Please, try harder to not so dishonestly paint them as such. For your sake, you wouldn't want everyone to think you were a liar, right? That or an idiot.
The second question is, if we can get away with it, why should we not kill fellow men? And this is the basic question on morality.
It's a stupid question on morality. The why is because you will never get away with it. Because getting away with it isn't just about some form of authority, it's the basic concept of survival. The guy who goes around killing people willy-nilly is the guy that everyone probably knows that about, and they just avoid. And humans survive based on communities. Their success is predicated on cooperation, and morality is the very foundation of cooperation. I won't do to you what I don't want done to me. It's agonizingly simple. And I say agonizing because you guys refuse to get such a basic concept that it really makes my head hurt thinking about how the hell you manage to get food into your face without poking your eyes out.
People think morality, humanists think morality, men can determine morality.
No, I would think many of them think as I do that morality is an evolutionarily favourable trait. Because it is. It has nothing to do with deciding what is moral. It's just don't hurt each other. We all survive better. Anything that comes further from that is figuring out what does harm. You know, like how many religions are immoral because they constantly cause people to do harm. Isn't this a fun conversation for you?
But the question is, if not for said lay down principles that come from the religious perspective, when you look at things from an evolutionary point of view, why not kill the next man if you're not going to be caught to survive?
can't actually figure out if you believe in evolution, because even if you think the concepts are true and sound, your understanding of it is obviously extremely poor. So, okay, you kill the next man, because you won't be caught. And the next, and the next, and the next, never getting caught until you are the last man standing with no food because you aren't a farmer and no shelter because you're not a builder, and you die freezing and starving all alone. What a champion. Well done. You just proved natural selection favours not killing people, you dunce.
To get some money, to get something. If you're not going to get caught, what's the reason why you will not do it if there's not an all-seeing body and an all-seeing person who you will report to?
Already outlined why. Now, I don't know what kind of pro-godder you are, but many religy boys have some form of overpowered forgiveness mechanic. That means that as long as you say, whoops, my bad, God, you will get away with literally any crime ever. So what's stopping you? I mean, thank Christ for evolutionary traits, eh? It's always so funny when God boys talk up morality, when they often say they would murder, destroy, and steal to their heart's content if Sky Daddy didn't reel. That's horrifying. Only I'm allowed to do that.
Now, I would like atheists to explain what brings about this morality. If you're not going to get caught for adultery, or you're not going to get caught for something, why not do it?
Adultery? Who gives a shit? You really should not be trying to run people's romantic lives. That is always a terrible idea. And I already explained why people have those compunctions. The real question is, are you going to actually understand it? I seriously doubt.
But from a religious point of view, the answer to that is quite simple, because you have this all-seeing, omnipotent, omnipresent being that you'll report to.
Oh, I'm so glad you said it. Yes, an omnipotent being, a being so high that we are not just as ants to him, but less than the atoms between the flecks of dust from my rusty ballsack are, when compared to the literal entirety of the universe. Yeah, I am so sure he gives a single solitary butt burger. What any of you lot do ever. That makes sense.
The third question is, why should man conserve the environment? And this was a question I posed to a professor from New York State University.
Wow, I didn't realise the questions were going to get so mind-numbingly obvious. You just spoke about survival, and now you're just going to completely ignore that concept, are you? Okay, let me put it in terms you will understand. We live in the environment. If we destroy it, it won't be there anymore. Ergo, neither will we. Seriously, I can't believe that you came up with that one. It is that freaking obvious.
From New York University, actually, NYU, during her dissertation presentation. And I asked her, I say, why conserve the environment?
I'm genuinely interested to see what they said, because if it isn't my answer, I can't think of some more obvious reason to do it. It really should be staggeringly simple to answer.
Nature. There have been, meteorites or asteroids have struck the Earth. And due to these processes, according to evolution, these are the reasons why we are here. Because of catastrophic events. So all of a sudden, why is it our responsibility?
Because you fucking live there! What the hell is wrong with you? Would you seriously be sat in your house, a wall falls over due to age and disrepair, and you think to yourself, Christ, it's cold in here. Shame it's not my responsibility to stop my house from tumbling down around my ears. Yeah, the Earth is technically not your responsibility in the grand scheme type of way, but that assumes you want to end the human race. When, okay, not gonna lie, I'm on board, but still the principle is the thing.
To starve ourselves of things we can do. We can make nuclear bombs, we can drop them, we can burn things, we can, cause global warming. At what point and for what reason and with what justification is man suddenly in charge of preserving the environment?
This guy really is that stupid, isn't he? Again, doctor. How did he even sign his goddamn name in order to sign up for whatever the hell he's apparently qualified in? Does he not understand the concept of cause and effect? And, oh shit, he totally doesn't, does he?
let things happen as they, let the chips fall as they may, let man be wiped out, this is the question I posed to her. I said, probably nature has it planned to make a more special species than man.
Nature doesn't plan anything, and mankind isn't the end of human evolution. Holy crap, the ignorant sophistry on display in this video is actually incredible. It must be a doctorate in advanced dumbassery. It's the only possible explanation.
So the idea that man is the ultimate being and we need to preserve the environment for man.
Man is the ultimate being. What atheists are you talking to? Who said that to you? I'm betting it was absolutely no one. The idea of man being the final form or in the image of perfection, that's your idea. That's more importantly, your opinion. Considering evolution has been brought up, you clearly see that as an atheist idea, and evolution has no concept of an ultimate being.
It's only due to religion that you believe man is the ultimate species, but if...
Yes, religion believes that many, if not most, atheists do not believe that. Christ, it's like he's almost getting there. He's so close to linking the idea that atheists don't hold the same beliefs as him, and then he dodges it like freaking Neo. And don't get me started on my thoughts on the level humans sit at, but let's just say I feel more favourably to the scum of the excrement of the scum.
Nature does it, then it's in our natural ability to destroy, and some people can fight to save.
Literally every species has some capacity to destroy. What has that got to do with anything? And no other species has had the capacity to be so aware of its impact on the environment. So they, actually take that into consideration. In fact, I don't know what your position is on natural conservation, but there is a shit ton of bombs who literally think it's their duty to exploit the planet because God said they could, so they do, and are frankly pretty awful people for it.
And some of us can fight to destroy, and eventually, if we destroy the environment, nature is going to replace us with a better species that can stay in the hot environment. So why...
A better species that can stay in a hot environment. First off, do you know something that I don't? Well, no, obviously not. And I present this entire video as proof, including this bit, since he thinks it'll be nukes, and nukes are much more likely to do the opposite of a hot environment, nuclear winter. Have you heard of it? Don't answer that. And there are already species that can survive hotter environments than your average unequipped human. How does that make them better? It's almost like you have literally no idea what the hell you're talking about.
The people, atheists believe in conserving the environment. I believe they should not. So that's another question.
You think that because you are, and I don't want to confuse you here, but because you are sillier than a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man with his cock out.
The next question is, what is the singularity from which the galaxies were formed?
You want me to tell you what the idea is? It's that everything in existence existed at a certain specific point, unless you are asking what it was made from when, everything. I'm not sure what you're about to get at, but I can only assume it's dumb.
Because according to the evolutionary theory, you had this dense singularity that exploded and expanded into the world and continues to expand into all the galaxies.
According to evolutionary theory, literally anything about the singularity? Nope, it's true. This may well be one of the most ignorant men on the face of the planet. Those two concepts are absolutely nothing to do with each other. Like, not even close. How do you hear of these things and are able to speak them aloud and yet know less than nothing about them?
So, but the question is, what's that singularity? Because if you don't know, because we still in essence are that singularity. We are one. We are that one singularity.
Yes, the things that were in there are now out here. But we in no way need to know what that is in order to say, that thing where you said God does the real, I don't believe it because it sounds really dumb. It's really easy, actually.
Because matter can never be created nor destroyed. But the question is, what is that singularity? If you don't know, that means you don't know what you are.
The only thing I don't know what it is your brain. Is it some kind of chunky soup? That would be my guess, if it's there at all. Anyway, that was 4 questions. There are, according to his title, 11 more. and I'm honestly kind of fascinated to see just how much about things this man doesn't do the understand of. Multi-parter it is then. I'll see you in the next one.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was gonna tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the